Hey guys, Rhiannon and Crisp here from the OT Lifestyle Movement. How are you today? I am jumping on to talk about our Invisible Toolbox. The toolbox that we have inside ourselves as occupational therapists. So many health professionals have a specific toolbox that's materialistic. Doctors have a stethoscope. Physiotherapists will have their walking frames and their special strapping tape. Dentists will have a scaler. And us as occupational therapists, we do not need these material things in our toolbox. We are the toolbox. We have so many beautiful skills and tools that we can use within our practice. So, empathy. Our ability to see life through someone else's lens. Our ability to co-regulate, be with someone through their challenges, in their pain, and support them in that. The therapeutic relationship that we build with the client. These things are of paramount importance. These are the things that make us occupational therapists. This is at the heart of the work that we do. It is this being with someone else. And I think, when I look back to my own work and my own journey as a therapist, I used to rely on my material toolbox. I used to feel like I had to walk into a session holding all the things that I have in the boot of my car, the toys, the equipment, all the things that I thought made me an OT. Because if I didn't walk through that front door, holding all these things, all these gadgets and tools and tricks and things, then what was I going to bring to a session? Parents wouldn't understand what it was that I was doing. And I had all these self-limiting beliefs around this. And for so long, I just clutched to those things. And then through my journey, through my understanding of what really makes us OTs, my confidence built. I started to realize that I didn't need all those things, that I could walk into a session just as I am, with no prior planning or preparation of what I was going to do, but with the goals in the forefront of my mind, and I could run a session. And the tools that I had were within me. It was the empathy. It was the ability to co-regulate, to see life through their lens, to develop this beautiful therapeutic relationship. And the relationship is truly therapeutic. It's therapy in itself. Because not everyone has the skills and the knowledge and the understanding of relationships and connection, that deep connection, like what we do. They're not going to respond the same way like we do. They are not going to pose the same sort of questions like we will. They're not going to have the same sort of curiosity. They're not going to reserve judgment like we do. All these things are so important. It builds trust, it builds rapport, and it builds this beautiful, blossoming relationship. And you need that. We need that in order to bring about positive change, in order to help our client reach their goals. There needs to be that. This is the core. This is the foundation of what we do. So recently I've been working with a 9-year-old girl, and a lot of the goals are around regulation. They are around, mainly around regulation and sensory processing. And so we decided to go for a walk the other day. I walked into a session. I didn't have any idea around what I was going to do, because I like to use a lot of the clients' natural environmental things that they have in their house in our session. So I try not to take a lot of things in anyway. But that day I walked in with nothing, and I thought, I'm just going to see what comes from this. We decided to go for a walk. It was a beautiful day. And on this walk, it was on the spot, the more you practice this, the better you get. And any therapist knows this. it's not something I would have been able to do at the start of my therapy, not because I couldn't do it, but because I didn't have the confidence in my ability. It came back to like this imposter syndrome. Like, is this even therapy, what I'm doing? Like, I don't know, like, how do I justify this? I'm just going for a walk around the block. Even though in my heart and an intuition told me it was therapy, I felt like I couldn't back it up, or I couldn't articulate well enough what it was that I was doing. And so with this girl, we would use mindfulness-based exercises. We would stop on our walk, we'd close our eyes, we'd name 5 things that we could hear. We'd name 5 things that we could see, 5 things that we could touch, 5 things that we could smell. And we'd walk around, we'd smell the beautiful jasmine that we picked up, we'd breathe in those aromas. And I know therapeutically that the olfactory system, when we stimulate this, when we take a deep breath, particularly for kids, if it is through a sensory tool, such as breathing in something, whether it's an essential oil, whether it's a flower, we know that that breath calms the nervous system. I know that that breath slows down the heart rate. So I know that this activity of simply breathing in a flower has a physiological effect on the body. And to anyone else who didn't have a trained eye to what I was doing, they would just think I'm going for a walk around the block. But I knew exactly what I was doing and why I was doing it. I was getting outside into nature. I know nature has so many health benefits. It's reducing that anxiety. It's bringing the body back into a parasympathetic state through movement, through nature, through our connection. So how I was talking with her, my tone of voice, my gestures, my facial expressions, my reduced eye contact so it wasn't too overwhelming for her. So really knowing her and what she needed and providing that made it a safe place for her to connect. And most people don't know this. We are so in tune with what our clients need and how we can support them to move to the next level. If you get anyone, even the parents, if they are really not in tune and don't pick up these subtleties, because we are so trained in this, we know exactly how to support participation and engagement through these skills that I'm talking about. And this is something that we do need to educate parents around or to help them with so that they can support their kids. So, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've had clients come to me who have been to other OTs and they've said, the OT was just doing X, Y, and Z, with my son or daughter. And it's because they haven't explained why they're doing what they're doing. So, and I usually say, you know what, I'm probably going to be doing exactly the same thing. And this is why. Because of X, Y, and Z. Because we are activating the parasympathetic nervous system. We are, bring it back down to rest and digest nervous system. We are doing all these things, but it really needs to be explained to our clients, because otherwise it will just look like a walk around the block. It will just look like, stacking blocks. It will just look like a conversation. So we really need to be explicit in our explanations and show them why we're doing what we're doing, because this is the reasoning, this is the clinical reasoning, and it's so important because it backs up and validates what we do and why we do it. We don't want it just to look like a walk around the park, because it's not. It's therapy in so many ways. So I wanted to share that with you today because I want you to feel like you too can go for a walk around the block and call it therapy for those reasons. And whatever reasons that you have that back up that walk around the block. You don't need to have a toolbox of tricks and tools to walk into a session to feel confident. You can walk into a session purely with yourself. Your body is your greatest instrument. It is your greatest tool to use in the session. And the more we can do this, and I'm sure you guys already are, but I just want you to feel confident in that fact. It is the therapeutic relationship that we build with our clients. And it's this connection point that matters most. Because if we don't have this, nothing else will flow from there. So take that with you today. Be confident, be courageous, and know that you are making a difference through the real subtleties in the therapy process. Doesn't have to look like therapy in order to be therapy. Sometimes therapy looks like nothing at all. It's so simple. But it's the subtleties that are so profound. So take that away with you guys. If you have any comments, any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to create a conversation around this. And I would love to get your perspectives, because I know I did a post on this. If you are listening to this in the replay or on the podcast, then please, I don't know what I was going to say. I went blank there. Just let me know. Oh, if you want to read the blog, go to otlifestylemovement.com and you will see it there as a blog post. It's also on the Facebook group page. It's also in our Facebook group. So go check it out. But sending lots of love. Let's start using ourselves more and backing ourselves. See you guys. Bye.